So this is that tweet that I put out last night, right? Hey, New Zealand free speech, yada yada yada, waiting to voice your views. So Damien Grant jumps on my.
One point of clarification.
Sure.
Just making sure, is that convicted fraudster Damien Grant?
I believe that is the case.
Okay.
He jumped on my Twitter feed and asked if he was arrested. Then it goes on to say, it seems he suffered no harm, so I'm unsure why the Free Speech Union would even need to defend him. So Free Speech Union doesn't need to get involved, right? Going through it. Now, this person says, I'm not sure who this person is, but they say as a member, I wonder if they're a member of the Free Speech Union and they're saying that I have a fair point. Because it says somewhere that they're a member or there's something like that. Damien goes on, someone burns a flag, suffers no harm, isn't prosecuted, there are no cause I'm aware of being harassed, yada, 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 and you critique the Free Speech Union for some undefined failure because it didn't defend a person not being attacked. Oh, there, here we go. Well, I'm a member, so I can critique all I like. So I'm assuming Critzo is a member of the Free Speech Union saying that I've got a fair point. They go backwards and forwards, and then Damien Grant says, Pat was trolling. So I was stirring shit up.
Game recognizes game.
Well, but I wasn't. It was actually, maybe it was a troll, but it was still a genuine question. It's like, if you guys are going to be free speech, you should be being free speech. To which I responded, Pat was waiting for the Free Speech Union to do what they say they're all about, and that is support free speech, which often seems to happen when the free speech sits on the right, but they're scarce in their support when it sits on the left, even if they personally disagree with it. Pat was and is looking for consistency. Now, a little bit, so remember what Damien Grant has said. Why should the free speech even get involved? They don't need to get involved. Later on Damien Grant's own Twitter feed, he put up a press release for the Free Speech Union, and he tagged it this. This is why I'm incredibly proud to belong to the Free Speech Union, and even more to count, this is the guy who was quoted in it, as a friend. So the Free Speech Union didn't need to get involved when he was talking to me, but when they did get involved, it was the right thing to do, and he's incredibly proud. Now, here's the hypocrisy bit that I want to show to you. I had no idea Damien Grant belonged to the Free Speech Union. Because on the right, the free speech people have been starting to want to suppress speech. Remember, the Free Speech Union said the left are being hypocrites because the left wanted hate speech laws, and they're now doing things would be deemed as hate speech. I agree. That's hypocritical. I agree. I wasn't, and I don't know how firm you were, Chew. I wasn't for those hate speech laws. I thought they were clunky and poorly written and had big holes in them. I agree, right? So I'm not one of those people on the left who did that, but there are some who did. I agree. However, the Free Speech Union hasn't been saying or didn't say, and those on the right that have been screaming free speech from the rooftops have been seeking censorship based on Gaza. We now know that Damien Grant is a member of the Free Speech Union. A couple of weeks ago on Bomber's show, he said this.
Our first panellist is like a poor Mike Hosking, but with far more offensive opinions. The most white cis male columnist at Stuff with an unsurprising opinion on capital gains, the libertarian liquidator. The Cthulhu of capitalism, Damien all tax is theft Grant. Kia ora, comrade. Welcome back to the studio.
Shalom.
One word to describe the week, please, sir.
Anti-Semitism. We are inundated with anti-Semitism. There is far too much of it, Bomber, including on your website.
I'm going to allow that to slide.
Really?
We can get into it, but I've got a lot of other things to talk about.
I'm going to keep coming back to it.
Well, you can, and we'll have that discussion at some...
platform John Minto.
He's
an anti-Semite.
I understand this is a very emotional time for you, and I'm going to be very kind.
You platform John Minto, he's an anti-Semite. Now, Chewy, to me, maybe he wasn't explicit in saying you shouldn't have platformed it. That sounded like someone who thought to platform someone's views, to give them some kind of free speech because of what they were saying, was wrong. Yeah. And that's an example that we've seen all over the place. So yes, there are many on the left who supported those hate speech laws. I'm not one of them, but there are many on the left who did, who are now participating in things that probably would have deemed hate speech under those laws. But there are many on the right who have been screaming free speech from the rooftops, who are now screaming censorship, please, because we don't like these views about Gaza. And that's the hypocrisy at play.